Hi everyone and welcome to another Wargame video. Today I'm going to be building a deck and playing a ranked game. I've never played a ranked game in Wargame in my life. Although we played lots of 2v2s and things like that. Custom matches, we never really played ranked stuff back in the day. But a few people have mentioned it to me in my live streams and I thought, well, why not? I lose a lot anyway, so if I get steamrolled in a 1v1, it's not really going to make a difference. But it does mean I need to build a new deck because my other decks are obviously catering towards 10v10s. And my old decks, which I used to use in 2v2s and 4v4s, don't really stand up because there's been patches and things have changed. So, with that in mind, we're going to build a Baltic front deck that is more suited to ranked games. So one of the first things I need to do is have multiple command units. So we have a decent tank command unit, which is the T-72. We're definitely going to take that. And then we want some kind of infantry, something reasonably cheap in a decent vehicle, preferably. Don't want to use up one of my KTs. It doesn't really matter about the armor, I suppose. And they all have very similar weapons. The only thing is what they come in with. Scott 2s are pretty fast. How do they compare? Pretty similar. So we'll just stick that in. And then probably a vehicle of some description. Now, depends how you feel about little Jeeps. They're nice and cheap. But admittedly, while they're fast, I prefer something with a little bit of armor. That's got 3 front armor. That's not bad. It's not too expensive. It's just a wee bit slower. Let's go with that for now. We can always change it later. Then we need some supply. Now, I was watching a few of Razman's videos, and he mentioned a very interesting point, is that the Finnish 15-point supply truck turns faster than the Polish one, so take the Finnish one in that case. Simple as that. And take a fob. Always take a fob. That's not true. I always like to take a fob just in case. You don't necessarily need one if you're running decks that don't have lots of artillery and things like that. Now, infantry, let's have a look. So, our Panzer 90s in a KT, without question, we take those. And again, I'm now looking at lots of units as opposed to expensive, small amounts of high-ranked units. Because, again, I'm going to need more of them in a game. So I need cards with more availability. Now I definitely take the spikes, and we'll take them in the usual vehicle. It's just my preference, I like them with the grenade launcher. And then we have a decision to make. I want to take more infantry, and I keep being told that Jakari 90s are very good. So I'm going to take those as well. Trained in a KT. And then lastly, it's whether you take more line infantry or some anti-air infantry. Now, I've never played 1v1, so I'm not honestly sure what is better. Razman in a similar deck takes more Jakari. I'm very tempted to take some anti-air, but I will take some Jakari. And I'm just trying to decide if I should take them in choppers for speed or just in a little vehicle. That would make them a lot cheaper, wouldn't it? A BTR 50. Just have a little gun on it. Something cheap to make them cheaper. They're coming a lot faster in that. So let's go cheap. Commandosi are expensive. We've already got Panzer Takari. These guys are obviously really good, but they're really expensive. And I just don't feel like we'll have that kind of cash. So, let's leave that for now. I may well come back and add some anti-air, but we'll see. Next, we want support. I'm going to take the ITO 90 because I like the ITO 90. And they're so expensive anyway. I'm just going to take 3 because there's one difference and it might as well have the extra hardened bonuses. Then do you take more anti-air? Probably because there's only 3. Drillers don't really have the range. These guys are radar, but they're cheap. So I do like the ITO 96. Obviously, it's very good, but it is expensive. That's 45, so it's it's 40 points less. It's got less range, but 65 for that one. Fairly big range difference, 20 points more. Razman took one of these as well. I'm just not sure. That's quite cheap, but its accuracy is quite poor. It's only got 2 missiles. That's off-putting. At least these have 6 each. Screw it, let's take the 65.1 and we'll see. It might just go horribly wrong. Then I want my mortars. I like my 84s. They're quite big shells. Am I going to take that many in the game? No, I might as well. Hardened. Are they going to get destroyed a lot? Potentially. I might as well take more than less. And then I want some other artillery. Do I take rocket or not? The Rak 91, obviously the Urgan variant is very good. It has a huge HE power and is quite accurate. The Talak 91 is very good, but less HE power, and you need a few of them to be doing the same area of effect damage. Screw it, let's go with this. Do we want 1 or 2? Let's take 2. And then... do I leave it there? Razman in his similar deck took these guys, I think. The ZUs for 25 points. Due to their versatility. They do have a good range against helicopters. They're not radar. They are radar. They have a better range against planes. Oh, that's difficult. Let's leave it and come back. Let's go to tanks. So, without question, this tank's awesome, so that can go in there. Do you take 1 veteran or 2 trained? I think if it's your big tank on the field, you might as well take a big one. Lots of T-72s. The Wilks are good. T-72S. $25 versus 120. Is the 5 extra points worth it for a missile? That's got slightly more accuracy. That's got better armor as well. And it's faster. I kind of want to take that. Let's go with that for now. And then something cheaper. The Wilk. There's the Jaguar. The Wilk has better armor. Better firepower. Better gun. Fine, let's go with that. I'll go with hardened 7. I mean, how many of these things I'm going to end up bringing in, I honestly don't know. And then, weirdly, the charioteer was what Razman took. It was for 15 points for fire support, AP power 8, HE power 3, 5 front armor. I mean, it's not exactly a CEV, is it? We can bring in 20 hardened. Let's leave it at that for now. Okay. So, these guys are coming in a Super Puma. So these are going to be like the mainstay of everything because they've got anti-air and anti-tank. So can't really go wrong with them. We can bring them in as veterans. I don't think we need to necessarily bring them in as elites. And then what else to bring them in with? It's very fast. That's slightly oh, that's cheaper anyway. Oh, well, it's that one then, isn't it? Veterans again. And then CCs. I like my CCs too. What should we bring them in with? Something cheap. Maybe not too cheap. Probably the XA180 again. Bring them in as hardened so there's more of them. Might regret that. And then choppers, tanks. That is quite a good little tank. I've never really used it in the other deck. I'm more likely to bring in a chopper. That said, they're going to be shot down quicker. Let's take some hand runs of those. They're pretty cheap. And then we'll move on and come back. Vehicles. I don't really like the vehicles in this deck. I don't like them. The only thing I ever take is the flame tank, but I don't know how much use that'll be in a faster moving 1v1. Choppers. Well, that's pretty cheap for rocket pods. That's got a gun and rockets. Is it the Skull has anti-air. The I-24 has anti-tank. H10 has TOW2s. That's got a longer range. I think that because it's got that mix of cannon and rockets is probably the best bet. And then Salamander's very cheap for a missile, but it's short range. That doesn't have a long range missile. That's got 2 missiles for 50. I'm tempted to take that just because of its range of weapon systems. Let's take 3 hardened of those. Move on to air. Where's the meme MiGs? Always the meme MiGs. 2 elite meme MiGs. Then... That has bombs and it's cheap. We need something with bombs. I like that, but it's slow, and I don't know how these games go. I don't know what that's missiles. Anti-ground missiles. Very cheap. Radar missiles. That's planes. Bombs, napalm. Rockets. I like something anti-ground, but... I think 29. Anything with better range than that? I can't remember now. Seed. Do I take seed? Probably. I like seed. Lots of bombs there. Maybe that's what I need. It's quite expensive though, isn't it? But the range is better. Speed's pretty good. EV guided. Fire and forget. That's the one. Take one elite. 2 trains. We'll go with 1 elite. Go with 1 elite. We've still got activation points left. What else do we need? Do we take a better fighter? The F-18. Still need a bomber, don't I? So, how much slower is that? It's not. It's a bit slower than the Hawk. No ECM. Much easier to kill. Screw it, let's go with the cheap one for now. I might switch it out to the VIA 28. I got 4 points left. Which is a weird amount of points to have left. I really want to take another helicopter. Spend 3 points somewhere. And then have 1 point to spend on a vehicle of some description. Or do I drop something like the heli and buy something for 5 here? Don't use a lot of choppers, but at least that has anti-air. But I've got plenty of anti-air units for the ground. Let's do that. Let's go for the F-18. I'm not going to bring in... Can I bring in rookies? Is that just being silly? Got to be an elite one, hasn't it? And then I have a point left. So, screw it. Let's take something silly in here. People recommend the Sturmy, but it doesn't go very fast. And it doesn't go very far. It's going to run out of fuel pretty quickly. It is only 10 points though. Let's see how silly it is, since everyone else reckons they're pretty good. Okay, so that's the deck. It's a weird deck. I feel like I'm going to miss my anti-air there, but those guys have anti-air, so I might be alright. This is very similar to Rasman's deck, to be fair to Rasman. I think I've only made a few changes to what he put in his Baltic front deck. Or at least one of them, I think he's got a few. Let's save that. So, that is going to be my initial deck for a ranked game. As I say, I have never played a ranked game before, so I don't know what to expect. So I'm going to call that video there and put this up individually because it's quite a long video. And then I will post another video of that first game and how it goes with the replay at the end, so I can see what went wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose it, but we'll see. As always, thanks very much for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe, and check out the video of that game, which will be going up soon.